Good, y'all. I'm your boy Easy,
This your boy Tony Ford, aka Ghost Money, the $1 million scarecrow.
and we are the Full Blitz podcast.
For sure.
What is good, y'all? How y'all doing tonight?
I'm toe
What's
up.
happening, man?
I feel like Boosie with trouble. I'm
Yeah,
toe
and
up.
so everybody knows the reason our
I'm
co-host
toe up.
is toe up today is because tomorrow is his birthday,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And my man's turning what, 38?
My age is unknown, but I'm toe up.
Age is unknown. Well,
Happy birthday,
y'all
brother.
already know. We want to wish our guy a happy birthday from the Full Blitz podcast. Happy birthday, Tony Ford. It's great that you're here with
Happy
us the
birthday,
day
bro.
before
I
your birthday.
appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Toe up, too.
All right.
Well, we do have a great show for y'all today. We are going to be getting into the free agencies right now. We're going to look at the AFC, the entire conference, and see what teams have done what to really kind of position themselves into being better and more competitive than they were the year before. But before we get into all that, if you aren't already, make sure you clicking that subscribe button, hit that notification bell on YouTube, head over to TikTok and Instagram and hit that follow button. Make sure you following us on Facebook for all up-to-date news on sports and then what we have going on in the show. All right, man, let us get into this free agency. I am so excited to get into it. All right. I wanted to take a look at the AFC East first. For those of you that don't know, that is the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins, the New England Patriots, and the New York Jets. All right. You got which team, right, from that AFC East would you say is, kind of doing the most to try to put themselves in a better position?
You already know, man. The Bills. You know what I'm saying? The Buffalo Bills. For one, we talking Josh Allen, $330 million.
330. Boy, they hit him with a great
250.
contract.
250 guaranteed. Yeah. We talking Josh Allen.
What you like most about that contract?
I'm gonna tell you this. I said it last year. Bills should have been in the Super Bowl. But I see them coming back next year and being a contender. I see them being a contender. And Josh Allen has shown that, look, he can pass the ball, he can run the ball, and he don't care about taking no hits. Not at
To
all.
a fault, though. To a fault. Like if I'm Sean McDermott, he scares me sometimes.
He does.
The way he tries to lower his shoulder.
He does. But at the end of the day, him was a Buffalo Soldier. You feel me? He's ready.
So when you say the Bills, right? That's a team that's obviously the most, I guess, intriguing to you in the AFC East. Is
Yeah.
it just the sheer number of free agents they signed, or is it the positions at which they signed?
Look, I'm going to say it like this. Like I said, Josh Allen, him coming in, but then we got Darrington Evans coming in there running back. You know, I like anything with the last name Evans, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my family. That's my family. So I just feel like anybody with the last name Evans gonna come in and do what they gotta do. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I just feel like the Bills is that contender that they didn't get their chance this year, but next year is really gonna be on them. The Dolphins, they still got some work to do. Patriots, they time.
I mean, the Dolphins have got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, the Patriots, they time is up. That ended with Tom Brady. And the Jets, man, look, New York got some work to do. So, out of the AFC East, yeah, I'm rolling with the Bills. You know what I'm saying? Because
So I'm
Bills
not
be.
mad at that.
I'm gonna tell you this: Bills be kicking ass all year. Ask my bank account.
So I'm not mad at the Buffalo Bills, right? I do think the Buffalo Bills are in the best position to win the AFC East this year. I think that the talent they added is, really good. I think Evans is kind of a small part. I'll just talk on that because he is an Evans. I'll do that for you. I do think he is going to be a small part of what they're doing. I think where they made some really good additions is bringing in Josh Palmer, not a over the top receiver, but he did play well for the Los Angeles Chargers. A 3-year, $36 million contract, nothing crazy. Getting Shakar locked up on a 4-year extension for $60 million was massive for them. He really, kind of showed himself as the number one receiver for Josh Allen last year. And I think that was really big. Where they needed the most help and where I feel like they did a good job was on that defensive side especially the defensive line. You go out, you make a splash signing Joey Bosa. We all know Joey Bosa from his time in LA with the Chargers. Fantastic defensive edge, real good pass rusher, does have issues with staying healthy. So then you go out and you get Larry Ogunjobi is how I believe you say his name. That's probably not right. You signed him to a 1-year, $8.3 million contract. The problem with him is he's actually going to possibly miss the first 6 games with a PED suspension. Okay. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Bills kind of maneuver around that. You go out and you get him. Now you lose him for a third of the season, basically. I'm with you with Miami, right? I think Miami is a team that is kind of really in limbo. They're almost in purgatory, which is why I hate to see a guy that we talked about last week on the show from the Titans, Nick Westbrook-Akina, NWI. He signed a 2-year deal with the Dolphins, which really hurt. I think they're a team that is going to kind of struggle in that one, because of the Bills, and 2, this is where I got to disagree with you. New England is going to be back. New England, they've got their quarterback of the future with Drake May. They went and got their coach in Mike Vrabel, who did nothing but succeed in Tennessee. People tend to think that Mike Vrabel is a phenomenal coach, and he's a player's coach. Okay, then when you look at who they brought in, okay, another favorite of mine, backup quarterback who's going to back up Drake May is Josh Dobbs. The dude is a literal rocket scientist. Okay, he's a legitimate rocket scientist.
You sure about
and then
that?
You bring in a defensive leader. I am. He actually is. He is a legit. We look it up, right? We can look it up. Josh Dobbs is a legitimate rocket scientist. Okay.
Rockets ain't got nothing to do
But
with football.
then on the defensive side, okay, you bring in Milton Williams on a 4-year, $104 million deal. He was probably the number one free agent on either side of the ball this offseason. You go get him, and then when Tennessee lets go of Harold Landry, you bring in Landry on a 3-year, $43.5 million contract, which reunites Harold Landry with Mike Vrabel. Okay. You also sign Austin Hooper, another former Titan that was there when Mike Vrabel was. And now you're looking at a team that is significantly different. And then a big signing on that offensive line. You bring in Morgan Moses. You're putting together a team around Drake May. And then don't forget, you got New England sitting there at 4. I believe they're drafting 4. You could get Travis Hunter. You could get Abdul Carter, because it does look like Tennessee's going to go 1 with Cam Ward, like our guy Jonathan said last week. Okay. So, Shador's probably going to drop down. So Abdul Carter, maybe Travis Hunter. I mean, there's some guys that could be there for New England at 4. So I'm not quick to count out New England just yet. But Another team that me and you are 100% on the same page with is the New York Jets. Okay. They've done the least amount of work in their own division. The biggest signing they had was bringing in Justin Fields on a 2-year, $40 million contract, which that's a lot of money, in my opinion. And I just don't see it. I think that offensive line is still going to be a problem. The defense is going to be good because that defense was good anyways.
Talk to him, Easy.
You said what?
Talk to him, Easy.
Hey, so I think we're kind of in agreement on a few of those teams, right? So as we continue to move through, right, so we agree the Buffalo Bills are probably going to win the AFC East, right?
Yes.
I feel like we're in agreement there.
For sure.
All right. So now a division that to me I think looks, pretty wide open is the AFC North. And the reason I say that is when you look at the AFC North, you go on Ravens, right? I'm not mad at that. I don't think that's a bad call. What is it about the Ravens that has you like automatically that's where we're going? Is the Ravens. What's the reasoning behind that?
I mean, look, we're gonna look at last year. Time beat the Ravens in a lot of games. Time beat the Ravens in a lot of games last year. Man, look at who they played. And they were contenders. Like, they didn't get blown out by anybody. Lamar Jackson, we know what he can do. You know what I'm saying? We already know what he can do. And then they just signed Cooper Rush, you know what I'm saying, to his little deal. But he might not even get to play.
But you know something that's big to mention. You bring in Cooper Rush because it's not like the Baltimore Ravens have been in a situation where their backup quarterback hasn't had to play games.
Right. But
and now you bring in you
just having somebody like him, Cooper Rush, and I ain't gonna say he's great, but he is a decent quarterback. So just having him as a backup quarterback.
He's a solid backup quarterback.
Just in case something happened with Lamar, because we know he like to rush. We know he get out of that pocket. In case anything does happen, they got Cooper Rush. But at the same time, DeAndre Hopkins. You got D-Hop at wide receiver
that's
now.
a big signing.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a big signing.
Man,
I would like to say it's bigger.
The Super Bowl last year to be the Ravens and the Eagles. That's who I wanted to see.
You was looking for a bird gang. You was looking for a bird gang Super Bowl.
And you know what? The way they trying to line it up this year, it just might be.
Now, I'll give it to Baltimore, right? I really liked the re-signing of Rodney Stanley. I was hoping he was going to be one of those offensive tackles that made it to free agency, but he did not. They signed him to a 3-year, $60 million extension. Kudos for them. Baltimore has not been very active this, free agency, but I think that's maybe because they feel like they don't need to. Zay Flowers went down in the playoffs. That hurt. You still have Derrick Henry. You re-sign Patrick Ricard, their big fullback. You get a DeAndre Hopkins who, after the trade from Tennessee, looked good in Kansas City. So you bring him in, and he'll be a good kind of extra option for Lamar Jackson. Other than that, they really haven't done much. I mean, you got Ben Cleveland re-signing with the team. They've re-signed a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Ricard is a re-sign. Stanley, Cleveland. So I think Baltimore is looking at it and saying, hey, we have enough to do with what we got. Plus, we got the draft. We don't need to make a lot of crazy changes.
As far as the AFC North goes, because, I mean, who we got? Cincinnati?
We got the Ravens, then we got the Bengals, the Browns, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a real interesting division.
I mean, the Steelers and Steelers have had number one defense, or a top defense for quite a few years. That's still Curtin is what they're known for. But as far as a quarterback,
It seems like forever.
team, they've struggled. Russell Wilson, he came in when he was washed up. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember a great quarterback for the Steelers since Cordell Stewart. And now we talk about
Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger was.
You know what? I will give it to Big Ben.
Big Ben was great.
I'm gonna give it to Big Ben. And say that, hey, Ben Roethlisberger.
And his longevity.
We ain't gonna talk about nothing else with him, but Big Ben was a great quarterback. But Mason Rudolph.
Only football.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it. Look, Mason Rudolph right now, for one, you had Russell Wilson when he needs to retire now. Go home, make some more babies with Sierra. You know what I'm saying? That's what he needs. He said he was ready for another baby with her after her performance the other day. Look, go make some more babies with Sierra. Because playing football right now, your head ain't in it, man. But Mason Rudolph, I don't think he's going to be the quarterback to lead Pittsburgh anywhere. So,
I mean, he's not going to be the quarterback to lead them, but there is a sense of familiarity. He was a longtime Steeler before he was with the Titans, last year. So there is that. And Mason is a quality, I would say, backup. Now, I do think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are hoping and praying on Aaron Rodgers signing with them, which I don't think is an improvement. I think you go from one wash quarterback.
Even with Aaron Rodgers, look, guess what? Some people need to realize it's time to take the motherfucking pads off, go sit down, and just stop playing football because it's not. Look, you're already damn near 6 years old. And Aaron Rodgers isn't that old.
I agree. But both of them.
But I do say that, hey, look, it's time to retire, man. It's time to retire. Like, you've given us the best of your years. You've given us the greatest that you've got, and we appreciate it. But don't embarrass yourself by
ride off into the sunset. More. Yeah.
Don't embarrass yourself by trying to give us more.
I think that when it comes to Pittsburgh, and this is the same thing with Cleveland, right? Because personally, I think the AFC North is a two-team race. I think it's between the Ravens and the Bengals. We've talked about the Ravens. The Bengals are a team that I think really did a good job. Now, I don't like them putting the franchise tag on T. Higgins again, but it does pay him $26.2 million, which is a very good paycheck for him. That's probably right around where he's going to be anyways. They got P. Ryan signed, so that's big. You got Gesicki, however you say his name. Get him re-signed to a 3-year, $25.5 million deal. I think what's going to hurt Cincinnati is, one, Sam Hubbard announced his retirement. And then you are more than likely going to lose Trey Hendrickson. He still hasn't been traded. We don't know what's going on with that, but it doesn't look like a long-term deal is going to get done there. Reports over the last day or two have said that the deal with Jamar Chase is getting done, probably going to be somewhere in the $40 to $41 million a year, which well-deserving. So I do think that the AFC North comes down to the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. The Cleveland Browns are in such a disarray. I don't know why Myles Garrett decided to re-sign there. Now, I will tell you, we got guys like Jonathan who have told us, that the communication is getting better there. Myles Garrett obviously believes in whoever the Browns are going to be bringing in, which I think they're going to spend their number 2 overall pick on a quarterback, whether it be Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. So I think that team it's going to take them a few years to recover.
With me being an Eagle, we've talked about Darius Slay a lot. He's going to Steelers.
Yeah, I think that's one of Pittsburgh's better.
that was one of their better picks, but at the same time, we know Slay is not what he was when he, came into the Eagles franchise for one. But it's like, man, that's a nice spot for
No,
you to go
he's
to
not.
retire. But I kind of wish he would have just retired as an Eagle. Just
I mean,
retire.
yeah,
Retire on top of your game. Because now him going to Pittsburgh, I feel like it's gonna water him down and yeah, Pittsburgh does have a great defense every year. But I just don't see him fitting that franchise, man. I know it might be a little off topic, and I told you I'm toe up school. But
no, I don't think it's off topic. I do think that Slay is going to actually fit in really well with the way that
he
the
will.
Pittsburgh Steelers
He's
play
gonna
football.
lead that.
Even in his older, yeah, he's going to lead that secondary, and I think he's going to find success. So I think Darius Slay going there is going to work. A player that went there that I don't, granted the player didn't have any control over this because he was traded, was DK Metcalf. If I'm DK Metcalf, I'm so upset. Like, who's my quarterback? Who is my quarterback? I still got good quality years.
And that's the whole thing about Pittsburgh. Like I said, Russell Wilson, we already know he's what. Mason Rudolph, I don't see him being him and DK. I don't see that connection right there.
No.
I could be wrong. But I
you're
don't
not.
see that connection right there with him and DK. And it's like, man, the Steelers have really we see they're trying. They are trying to go after people that it's going to turn around the team. But we know that quarterback position, that number one position, is very important to the whole organization. And
it's the most important position.
Yeah, it definitely is. And
right now Pittsburgh doesn't have a quarterback.
You don't have a real leader, somebody who's going to step up and say, hey, look, I'm taking control of this organization. I'm here now. Look, you guys follow me, and I promise I'm going to get you there. It's nothing going to happen. And it's sad to see because, my dad was a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to you, Pop. But he always said, the Steelers ain't going to do nothing till they get rid of Tomlin. And I kind of agree with him.
I don't. Not at all. That, when you have not had a losing season in, 17 years, you're not the problem, right? Injuries have plagued Pittsburgh year in and year out, right? I don't care how good of a coach you are.
True.
In the NFL, you got to have players. And if your good players are hurt, you're not going to win. But since Ben retired 3 years ago, I think 3 years ago now, 4 years ago,
Four.
They have just been playing this quarterback carousel because they don't know if they want to draft a guy. They don't know if they want to sign a guy. And now they're going to do that again. I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to wind up signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think that is a horrible decision. I think Pittsburgh should trade what they need to trade to move up in the first round and go get one of these quarterbacks. Go get you a Jackson Dart, okay? Go get you a Shedeur Sanders if you can get that high.
Shedeur would be great for Pittsburgh. I could see, Shedeur at Pittsburgh it just puts me in the mind of Cordell Stewart. You know what I'm saying? Back when they had Stewart days.
I don't know if Pittsburgh wants to do what's necessary to move up high enough to get him. You're going to have to get in the top 10. You're going to have to trade into the top 10. That would be a great
pick for them. And I could see, like I said, Shedeur at Pittsburgh and actually maybe his first year would be so great. But that second year, they actually putting some more players around him. We already got DK Metcalf going over there, so they wouldn't need much to evolve around
Pittsburgh is a fantastic place to be going. All
Yeah.
right, that offensive line, they got some good young people. Anytime Mike Tomlin is your coach and the Steelers a historic franchise in the NFL, and then you look at their weapons on the outside. You got DK Metcalf on one side, you got George Pickens on the other side, you got Veramuth as your tight end going through. I mean, Pittsburgh would be a fantastic situation for a young quarterback like a Shador Sanders, like a Jackson Dart. I think that's what they need to do, and I think that's where they need to focus. You know, closing out the AFC North, a team that, like we said earlier, that's not going to be able to do that is the Browns. Okay, the Browns find themselves in franchise or in team purgatory. I said it a minute ago. The only shining spot was that the fact that they were able to get Myles Garrett signed to a historic 4-year, $123 million deal.
Hey,
$40 million a year, well deserved.
they got a Super Bowl winning quarterback over there now.
They do. They technically do have a Super Bowl winning quarterback in Kenny Pickett. This is true. Kenny Pickett does have a Super Bowl ring.
I'm so glad the Eagles let him go. Like, bro, but shout out to the Browns for having a Super Bowl winning quarterback, man. They ain't even had to put a lot of money up, you know what I'm saying? He got
Look,
a ring, you know what I'm
Cleveland's
saying?
going to be in last place in that division. But moving to a division that I love talking about, obviously, because the Titans are in this division, it's the AFC South. When I'm looking at the AFC South and I'm looking at what certain teams did, every team in the AFC South made a lot of moves, some of them not as exciting or, as needing as the other ones, but obviously, even as a Titans fan, I do believe the Houston Texans are going to win the AFC
Yes,
South
sir.
again next year.
Yes, sir.
I think when you have a quarterback like CJ Stroud, and then you just do things like going to get Christian Kirk, who had a off time in Jacksonville. I think that was a really weird fit for him. When he signed there a couple of years ago, I thought that was a really weird signing. Now you put him in Houston and you put him next to Tank Dell. You put him next to Nico Collins. You put him next to those tight ends that Houston has. I think that they're going to be.
Houston went out to get him, man. They
Houston did.
They try to make sure they put some weapons around Stroud,
But
man. You know what I'm saying? They really try to give him some weapons.
But they made some decisions that didn't make any sense. Their offensive line was a position or a unit that had a lot of issues, and you traded away Tunsil, your number one offensive line, and one of the top 3 tackles in the league. That didn't make any sense. I didn't understand that move. They traded some pieces, and it just. I don't know what's going on in that building.
Maybe they got that much belief in their running back, though.
Yeah.
That hey, look. If we give him the ball quick enough, he don't need the line. That might be that. Or if we can get off the ball quick enough, we got enough threats out here that I can pass the ball off to. I don't need that much time in the pocket. Maybe that's where they're thinking.
We learned in this last Super Bowl that if you ain't got an offensive line, you gonna get your ass whooped. Okay, but we'll see. Maybe they have some ideas coming up in the draft. Maybe they're going to try to trade some more players. I do like the signing of CJ Gardner-Johnson. That was a trade with Philly that was kind of strange, because, again, they gave up Kenyon Green, another offensive lineman. They also gave up a 25th round pick. But CJ Gardner-Johnson is going to help them in the back end. MJ Stewart, another re-signing that I think is going to be one of those guys that kind of helps in position. With all of that being said,
how you feel about Brandon Allen, man? Mr. Titan.
I like Brandon Allen. Right? Brandon Allen is a really good career backup quarterback. And it's funny with what the Titans have done through the offseason that even just a week ago, when we had our guest on, Jonathan, with the All Things Titans TikTok page, we were looking at it and we were talking about what the Titans were going to do with that number 1 overall pick. When you look at their offseason, the signing of Dan Moore, 4 years, $82 million, $50 million guaranteed, 30 in the first year. A lot of people did not like that signing. I loved it. Okay. When you take away the rushes and the sacks from Myles Garrett, Dan Moore's numbers with Pittsburgh look significantly better. He was a 4-year starter with Pittsburgh, and he progressively got better each year. Okay. That means he's going to go to left tackle. We're going to move CJ Latham, our first round pick from last year, to right tackle. That means that we have our tackle positions locked up for the next 4 years at least. Okay. Then you bring in a guy like Kevin Zettler, who has just been nothing but a consummate pro throughout his time. We got him on a 1-year, $9 million deal. He's going to play right tackle or right guard for us. Now, when you look at our offensive line, we got Dan Moore, Peter Skorinski, Cushenberry, Zettler, and CJ Latham. That our offensive line looks significantly better. So what does that tell me? That tells me right away, quarterback is where we're going in the first round. And I do think, again, shout out to our guy Jonathan, I do think he is right. I do think Cam Ward is going to be our pick. And I'm okay with it.
I don't know why, but for some reason I like the name Cushenberry. Cushenberry just sounds so good.
Dude, I love that name, bro.
Cushenberry.
I love that name.
I need some of that Cushenberry right
now. I love it. But some of the other things we did, we signed punter John Hecker. I really wish we would have brought back Stonehouse, the punter we had on the team for the last few years. We obviously re-signed Morgan Cox, the long snapper. I love the addition of Xavier Woods. Okay. Xavier Woods is going to bring a real physical style of play at the safety position. And I think he's going to mesh really well with L'Jarius Sneed, Browning Jr., some of those other DB and cornerbacks that we have. And of course, bringing back Joseph Day on a 1-year deal, real big. Draymond Jones is a guy that a lot of people didn't understand the signing. He's going to play a different position for us than he did when he was in Seattle. Okay. All in all, I'm really happy. I do wish that we'd go out and get another wide receiver. I was hoping maybe we could get Cooper Kupp, but he's signed now. I believe he signed with Seattle. We did get Van Jefferson, 1-year deal from Pittsburgh, but I'm really excited with the offseason the Titans have had.
You brought up the Seattle, and I was just thinking about Seahawks, and man, they've already had a rough time. Then they, not to say Geno Smith was great, but now he's at the Raiders.
Yep. He's over in Las Vegas. I mean, Seattle, we're going to get into the NFC on their free agencies next week.
Yeah, we'll get to that next week.
Seattle's one of those teams that Seattle's kind of gone up and down. Now, you want to talk about a signing that caused me to be toe up? I am, for the life of me, trying to understand the Indianapolis Colts signing Daniel Jones to a 1-year, $14 million deal. Now, I get it. He's going to back up Anthony Richardson. But where in any type of world did y'all think that Daniel Jones was who y'all should have signed? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And they've made the least amount of moves, the Indianapolis Colts have. And when you look at who they've brought in, they haven't really brought in anybody, Cameron Bynum, on a 4-year, $60 million deal. I mean, hopefully he can help. You did bring in Ward on a 3-year deal worth up to $60 million for the cornerback position. Shavarius, I think is how you say his first name. I'm horrible with names, but I think we see the Colts kind of fall to the bottom of that division, because even Jacksonville did a good job that, bringing in Hunter Long, 2-year, $5 million deal at tight end. They lost Ingram, which I think they're going to be okay. Eric Murray signs a 3-year, $22.5 million deal. I think that's going to be a good signing for them. Jacksonville needs to find themselves in a position where they can find out if Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to be the guy to get them to where they need to go. Now, unfortunately, they already gave Trevor a boat ton of money, which I don't think was a smart idea, but hey, that's exactly what he looks like.
That's sunshine all day, man.
AFC North is obviously the least compelling division in the AFC right now, so not going to spend a whole bunch of time. Moving to the last division in the conference is the AFC West. All right. Looking at it, I mean, obviously, Kansas City made a bunch of moves, right? They signed Gardner Minshew. They also signed Bailey Zappi. So they brought in 2 quarterbacks now that are more than likely going to compete for that backup position.
For what?
2.
For what?
But to back up Patrick Mahomes, I have no idea.
Look, when you're playing to fail, you're playing to fail. Gardner Minshew?
I mean, like
Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew, bro.
Granted,
Gardner Minshew.
I like Gardner Minshew because he did play for the Eagles. And he did help us win a game. But Gardner Minshew...
But was he a quarterback or a Super Bowl winning quarterback, Gardner Minshew?
Look,
no.
He's no Kenny Pickens, and Kenny Pickens is gone.
It's ridiculous that we're saying that.
Yeah, exactly.
And being so serious, too.
But, hey...
But Gardner Minshew's not...
I'm glad Gardner
He's a serviceable backup.
Found my home behind Mahomes.
Absolutely.
He found him a home behind Mahomes.
Where I think Kansas City did a fantastic job is the role players that are going to help Patrick Mahomes. Bringing back Kareem Hunt was massive. And then you got him on a 1-year, $1.5 million deal. Like, that's crazy.
With incentives.
Kareem Hunt stepped in for Pachenko.
Don't forget he got incentives now. He does have incentives.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So, and the incentives are big. Then you bring in Elijah Mitchell at the running back position, which I'm starting to wonder, are they worried about maybe not having Isaiah Pachenko at some point? Now, this is just a 1-year deal,
gave
too.
Him what, 1.35 guaranteed?
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I've noticed what Kansas City likes to do is Kansas City likes to bring in guys that they've had familiarity with, right? So what do? They go and get Juju Smith-Schuster on a 1-year deal, right? You also re-sign Marquise Brown, which to me is a underappreciated signing. I think that signing of Marquise Brown is really underappreciated because that is a guy that when your wide receiver room is kind of unsettled, he can calm everybody down, right? He's got the experience. He's got the years.
I don't know. 11 million, you feel like this?
He's one of those guys that, you know, he can kind of step in and be a 1 when you need him. He can be a 2 when you need him. I like Marquise Brown. I really do. Juju Smith-Schuster, like we were just saying, I think is a really kind of interesting signing. It's only a 1-year deal, but Schuster, I do believe, won a Super Bowl with him a couple of years ago. So that'll be interesting. They bring back Nick Bolton on the defensive side at the linebacker position on a 3-year, $45 million deal, which was absolutely essential.
$30 million guaranteed.
That defense, big guarantee money for a linebacker.
$30 million guaranteed cash money.
You know, they bring in a former Titan in Christian Fulton. That's another one. Cash rules everything around me. 2-year, $20 million deal. Apparently he's got a max value of 20.5, 15 million guaranteed. I really like Christian Fulton. I liked him when he played in Tennessee. He was hurt a little too much, but I do like him. I think he's going to fit in that Kansas City defense really, really well. I think he's going to give them a sense of, you know, smart physical play. And he's also a really good run stopping cornerback as well. With everything there, Kansas City, which is crazy, I only see 2 offensive linemen, you know, and that was that they literally got manhandled on national TV
in front of everybody
because their offensive line.
Y'all just seen
everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody. But for me, I don't understand how you have that kind of performance on the biggest stage in your sport and you don't go out and just do anything and everything you can to do better, to get better, to bring in more players.
You know why?
I don't know.
It's the end of a dynasty. The end of the dynasty. The dynasty is over. Kansas City, look, the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty has ended. It's gonna be a new team.
I don't know, man.
Look, it's gonna be a new team that's gonna run it for a couple years, and then the Eagles gonna come back and take all that shit.
You killing me, bro. You killing. The reason. So I will say I can understand why people would look at it and say, "Oh, maybe this is the end of a dynasty." But the problem is one, Patrick Mahomes is in the prime of his career. Andy Reid is not going anywhere. And even after this coming season, which is probably going to be Travis Kelce's last season, you still have a guy coming right behind him named Noah Gray, who is a phenomenal tight end. And you got guys like Xavier Worthy, who big shout out. We'll talk about this in a couple of weeks when we have a certain guest on, but big shout out to Xavier Worthy and everybody that stood by that man. And shame on all of you that immediately thought he was guilty simply because he was a man and simply because people said that he did things that he didn't do. Okay. So big shout out to Xavier Worthy and do what he did. Y'all think your woman's cheating on you? Get a PI, just like he did. Man signed a $16 million contract. Woman still cheated on him. What's that tell you? Right?
Bitches don't
anyways,
get no bucks. Bitches don't get no bucks.
but I think Kansas City will be okay. The biggest threat.
Future said, "A hoe gonna be a hoe. Ain't no way around it. Ain't no way around it."
If you're looking at the division, the biggest threat to Kansas City's dynasty, okay, is it. I don't care what anybody says. It's not the damn Los Angeles Chargers. It's the Denver Broncos. Okay, the Denver Broncos last year with a rookie quarterback, Bo Nix, who everybody said was going to have issues, wasn't going to be successful. Sean Payton drafts him 12th overall and is just elated, and it shows. You went out and you re-signed Jarrett Statham, which I think that's a good re-signing. He's a great backup quarterback. You go get Evan Ingram, which I think is an underrated signing for the Denver Broncos. People don't realize how important the tight end is in a Sean Payton offense. Okay. Jimmy Graham was invaluable in that Sean Payton offense. All right. And then Bo Nix, you go back and look at his time at Auburn and at Oregon, he liked his tight ends. I think the Evan Ingram signing, 2 years, $23 million, is going to be a very, very good signing. Other than that, no real big splash. You had Dre Greenlaw, linebacker, 3 years, $35 million. I think we'll see what happens with that one. But I think Denver is kind of looking at it and saying, hey, we had a good team. We had a good season. We're gonna add a little bit in free agency. We're gonna add more through the draft, and then we're gonna run it back and see what happens. Not mad at that approach with Denver at all.
I'm gonna tell you, don't sleep on Vegas, man.
But so look, what is it about? Like, right? So you saying don't sleep on Vegas?
I'm gonna say
if I had to ask, why shouldn't I sleep on him?
Geno Smith, he's not the greatest quarterback. But I will say, he's been known to pull some phenomenal stuff, man. And then you link him up with the monster. I always call him a monster. What's his name? Mozart? What's his name? You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, Mostert.
Yeah, the running back. Yeah, Mostert.
Yeah, like.
That works. The boy is a monster.
Hey, exactly. That's why I call him a monster. I can't remember his real name. I just say, that go monster. But
I mean, I'm not mad at that.
Exactly. I feel like Vegas is trying to make some moves to be a contender next year because we know they. Come on, we talking about Vegas. Where were they at last
I
year?
mean, Vegas is so they're horrible, right? They're picking
Right.
sixth. Vegas made a lot of changes, right?
Yeah.
The big change. Tom
Quarterback.
Brady is now a minority owner
Mm-hmm.
of the Las Vegas Raiders. He's
Mm-hmm.
coming in and he's changing everything. Then
However you
a
feel.
move that hasn't really got talked about a lot is you go out now. I didn't like the not hiring of Antonio Pierce. I thought Antonio Pierce had done enough to warrant getting another job, getting another shot at the head coach. But that didn't happen. What did Tom Brady do? Tom Brady brings in Pete Carroll. I think that is a fantastic coach for the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay. I think Pete is going to do really well there. You know, Pete is familiar with Geno Smith. The Geno Smith trade is, and you know what's crazy is Geno is better than just a good quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, Geno is a quality starting quarterback in this league.
At Seattle, he got his fair shot, but he didn't. Because it's like if you put a good line around Geno Smith, you looking at another Lamar Jackson.
Hold on, whoa,
You are.
whoa, nah,
Maybe
nah,
not. I'm
not
not gonna
even
say
close.
passing wise. Maybe not passing wise. But as far as rushing, getting out of the pocket and saying, hey, look, I gotta make a decision to say, look, I can't pass the ball, so I'm gonna get up out of here and do what I need to do. That's what I mean. Now, Lamar, I'm not gonna disrespect you like that. Okay?
And they did go out and get Alex Kappa, who struggled in times in Cincinnati, but they got him relatively cheap. I mean, a 2-year, $11 million contract, that's relatively cheap for a okay offensive lineman. But the big one for the Las Vegas Raiders was obviously the re-signing of Max Crosby. 3-year extension, 106 million with 91.5 million guaranteed. First and foremost, congratulations to Max Crosby. I think he is one of the most underrated defensive linemen. Yeah, like I love Max Crosby. He is a guy that I was hoping maybe could get packaged in a deal to come to Tennessee. Does not look like that's going to happen. But other than that, the Raiders just didn't make a real big splash. So I think that they're going to probably do a lot of work within the draft, and we'll see what happens with them. But that whole division, the whole AFC West is real interesting because even when you look at the Los Angeles Chargers, one, you bring in Harbaugh as the coach. You go get your running back in Najee Harrison on what I think again is a very cheap deal on a 1-year, $5.25 million deal, fully guaranteed. 5.25. It's got a max value of 9.25, but even still, it's a cheap deal.
Yeah.
It's a
For
cheap
Najee, for
deal.
Najee Harris, yeah.
Now I love the signing of Makeem Becton, the guard from the Eagles. He was the last big offensive lineman to sign. The terms have not been released for his deal as far as I can see, but I really like bringing him in. You're also giving Herbert some extra protection. You bring Mike Williams back, which I think was a good deal. I've always liked Mike Williams. You also bring in Jalen Reagor, or not bring him in, but re-sign him. So they've done a few things. They brought Khalil Mack back, which I think is just going to be this 1 year. It's a 1-year, $18 million deal, fully guaranteed, which probably says that Khalil Mack is going to retire at the end of this year. Been around for a long time, been a standout player on the defensive side of the ball for a long time. Elijah Molden is a 3-year, $18.75 million extension. Molden is another previous Titans player who I really like. Strong, quick feet, good ball skills as a cornerback. So this whole division is going to be interesting, especially when you stop and you look and see what the Raiders could do. But I mean,
They got a punter on a
It's
$6
interesting.
million contract.
Yeah,
JK
yeah,
Scott?
he's 2 year,
Yeah,
6
2 years,
million.
6 million.
So, but he's a solid punter too.
Hey, I swear to God, I wish I would have stayed in school and I could have played kicker or punter or something, man. I'm missing so much money right now. Stay in school, kids. Stay in school. If you
Somebody
can't
should
be
have
the
told
running
me.
back, you can't be the quarterback. Guess what? You can be the kicker. You can be the punter. You can still get Super Bowl rings. You can still get plenty of change, man. Look, so stay in school, kids. If you're watching this, hey, you ain't
Just
got to be the superstar. You can be a Kenny Pickens.
and still be a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yes, sir.
But that's the AFC, guys. Those are the free agencies, the moves that the AFC teams have made so far. We got more coming from the NFC next week. And after the break, we got some of the brackets because the March Madness is here. We're going to take a quick look at our brackets and see who we have winning it all right after the break. What's good, guys? Are y'all looking to host a small get-together or have a company party coming up? Hey, if you do, Goodfellas has you covered, offering casino-style parties of any size and for any occasion. Goodfella Gaming has all the go-to casino games: blackjack, roulette, poker, and craps, and even a few of the specialty games like Pai Gow, the Money Wheel, three-card poker, and Let It Ride. Not looking for a casino party? No worries. They have a large inventory of arcade and bar games like pool tables, air hockey, pinballs, and many more. Some of the popular arcade games as well, like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, and Super Bikes. Head over to goodfellasgaming.com for a free quote today. And don't forget to let them know the guys at the Full Blitz podcast sent you.
I'm fucked up, Scoop. I'm toe up, Scoop.
For all my folks in Birmingham, if you're looking for a ride, it doesn't matter if it's from the gas station, from the doctor's office, or maybe it's a night out and you just need a DD. Make sure to hit my guy Trey up with Z Trips. Get you anywhere you need to go, safe and sound. Hit him up at 205 369 3334. All right, guys, welcome back from the break. So, like we told y'all, coming back out of the break, we are going to take a look at who me and Tony, all right, because we've both done our brackets for March Madness, men and women, all right? So, we're not going to go crazy into it because that would take a whole show, all right? But I filled out my brackets, okay? And I have real simple in the final four. I got Auburn and Michigan, and then Duke and Alabama. All right. I got Auburn and Duke winning for the national championship game being Auburn and Duke. And shout out to all of my people that I work with, all of the people that I know living here in Birmingham. Shout out to all of my Auburn people. I have the men's Auburn War Eagle, Auburn Tigers winning the national championship. All right. Kudos to the Auburn Tigers.
All right. All right. I told you I'm toe up, Scoop. This is my birthday. Anyway, I'm toe up, Scoop. My final four was Auburn, Maryland.
Maryland.
Yeah, Duke and Alabama. And guess who I got taking it all?
Duke.
Alabama.
Wow, that's right. You got Alabama.
You know why? Somebody told me this a long time ago, and they was like, yeah. And so I put a bet down a while ago on Ohio State and the Eagles and Alabama to win it. So if Alabama wins it, my gosh, I would thank you so much. Because I got a lot of money riding on y'all. I'm telling you.
And who you got?
I need it.
You got women. Real quick, who you got winning it all?
Win everything. Because if Alabama win everything, then I win everything, and I want to win it all. Okay?
So stupid.
That's all I need.
Women, Who you got? Women.
Look, I'm riding with Alabama because I need that money. You did.
So you got Alabama's winning. You got Alabama's women winning it too.
Yeah.
Oh, you got Alabama. You got Alabama winning all the way across.
I got Alabama.
Hell, I ain't even know Alabama's women was in it. I'm taking USC.
No, the women.
I like Juju.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the
I'm
women.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm hard of hearing. I told you.
This is what happens. This is what happens right here. When it's your birthday weekend, this is what you do right here.
Look, it's St. Patty weekend. Y'all know my birthday is St. Patrick's Day, so I'm toe up school. But for the women, I got UConn. And
I'm not mad at that. You going with Paige?
Backup. I got another bet on the women's, and I got South Carolina as my backup.
I ain't mad at that. I'm taking USC. I got USC's women. I like Juju. I think, I'm not sure if that's what's gonna happen, but that's what I'm rocking with.
I'm just trying to make some dreams come true. That's all. I'm trying
to make them come true. Well, we're actually gonna make somebody's dream come true, not somebody random, but a specific person. We got something to tell y'all about this next segment coming up. Y'all know what it is. It's my favorite segment. It's our favorite segment. Y'all know what it is. It is time for Ain't No Way.
No way. Hey.
So, big shout outs to our listeners, to our followers. We have been telling y'all didn't believe us. For the first time, we have a fan's submission for Ain't No Way, and that means that this fan will be getting the official Ain't No Way hoodie #1. Once we get it done and get it sent out, we will have it signed, or we will have y'all see what it looks like. But big ups to Lily.
Numero uno.
Big ups to Miss Lily. We appreciate your submission, and we are fitting to get into Miss Lily's Ain't No Way of the week. Tony, I'm going to let you take this one, big dog.
Her name is Lily Fomopopasapata. Pomsofa, something like that. Lily Pom 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 said, ain't no way that a man got run over by a train and he still survived. And I didn't believe it till she showed me the video.
He got what? He got run over.
You said, what'd you say? he got run over. First and foremost, before we show the video, on behalf of the Full Blitz podcast, Lily, we love you. Thank you for the submission. We know that's not how we say your last name. Okay, we apologize.
How do you say it then? Easy?
I'm not even gonna try. Okay, I can't even get like 4-letter names.
I know you're
right.
really good at pronouncing names.
Yeah, I'm real good at pronouncing names. I'm lucky I don't get beat up outside.
So listen, we're definitely not going to be able to show this whole thing, but I'll blur it out.
Run over by the train.
This is crazy. So that's
I think Peru, I guess.
Hican?
If he was Peruvian
hit by a
and
Peru
the train ran
okay.
him over, I'm expecting him to be from Peru.
Okay.
Apparently this. First and foremost, is that the cat right there sitting by the train track?
Watch this.
Let's see.
It is in Peru, Lima, Peru.
Bro got smacked. Bro.
Ain't no way.
We're definitely not showing this. Yeah.
Ain't no way.
Oh my God, that makes my whole body hurt.
How did he survive that?
Bros, look at him.
Bro, he got up and walked away.
Shout out to
Yo.
But he does not even look like he's bleeding.
Hey.
Oh my God, he just got it.
Bro, ain't no way.
Smoking a
Ain't no way.
He's walking away.
Ain't no way.
Hey, like, bro, chill, sit down for a second.
Yeah, he's like, hey, bro, I gotta go to work.
Literally,
Yeah, Lulu,
you actually got hit by an actual train.
Good Lord.
Bro,
she's our number one. Ain't no way. Yeah, because ain't no way.
Oh, my goodness. Oh. Anyway.
Oh, we don't need a commercial.
He walked.
Increase engagement. Oh, my God.
We might need a commercial after that. Everybody rest.
Hey, you know what's crazy?
We're going to give a moment
that
of
is
silence.
probably...
Oh, he didn't die. Damn it. I forgot. He didn't die. He survived. No way.
That's probably the most
My bad,
worthy video of a hoodie
was crazy
in my life. That is insane.
That was rough.
Number one.
Hey guys, listen. Yeah, so we're gonna get that hoodie made and get that hoodie sent out to you. Once it does, please make sure you send it a picture with you wearing the hoodie. We'll get it posted on the show's Facebook page, and we'll also get it posted and get you tagged on the show's Instagram page. Lily, thank you so much for sending that in. And guys, if there's anybody else out there that wants to send us an Ain't No Way video, please send it in to the email. Make sure you send it right here. Y'all know what to do. thefullblitz@gmail.com. And listen, y'all, we are having a blast doing this show, okay? But what we need y'all to do is make sure y'all head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, click the bell on the notification, follow us on every other social platform, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Make sure y'all are putting the show out there for us. Y'all know what it is. Make sure you keep rocking with us because we only getting better. And until next week, peace and love, y'all.
Hey. Holla, holla, holla. Holla, holla. Don't get hit by a train, man. Look both ways.